Hi everyone, this is Chinmay from TempWallets, and in this video I'll walk you through how we added the Gasless transaction across more chains using ERC-4337 with Pimlico while still keeping our existing EIP-7702. So the idea is simple. We try the best gasless method first and fall back if needed, and we always make sure that the transaction goes through. So by the end of this video, you'll understand what changed, what we did, and why we did it, and how the system works end to end. So let's start with the problem. So earlier, our gasless experience depended mostly on the EIP 7702 supported chains. That means users on the other EVM chains could not always use the gasless transactions. So we had this limitation, like there was great UX, but only limited in few places. So the goal was to make gasless transactions work everywhere possible and not just where the 7702 is supported. So what did we change? We introduced the dual strategy using the three-step fallback system. Like first we try the EIP 7702. That's still our best and the fastest path. If that's not available, we fall back to the ERC-4337 using the Pimlico Bundler and Paymaster. And if that also falls, we safely fall back to the normal transaction. Like think of it like a Google map rerouting. Like if one road is blocked, it automatically finds the next best route to reach your destination. So let's look at the system architecture. Our front end sends the transaction request to our backend. The backend uses the policy routing engine to decide which path to take. That routing engine connects to the Pimlico infrastructure, which includes the bundler and the paymaster. Bundler groups the transaction together and the paymaster sponsors the gas, meaning that users doesn't have to pay for the gas. Like finally, everything is executed on the blockchain networks using the RCP nodes. And like in the simple terms, it's like front end to back end to routing to the execution layer. Now let's quickly understand what happens in the ERC-4337. So instead of sending a normal transaction, we create something called user operation or user OP. So that is sent to the bundler. The paymaster can sponsor the gas. The bundler then includes it in the transaction and sends this into the blockchain. Finally, we track it using the user operation hash, which later resolves into the transaction hash. So it's like sending a package through the courier instead of delivering it yourself. So a key concept here is the smart accounts. Like these are derived from the same EOA seed so that user still has one identity. But the smart account allows the advanced feature like the gas sponsorship. Also, like these accounts can be like they don't exist on chain like until needed. They're deployed lazily only when the first transaction happens. So this keeps the things like efficient and seamless. So now this is the fallback plan. Like if the gasless fails, we detect it and trigger the fallback path. Like that usually means switching it into the normal transactions. We also add this safety checks like address validation, blocking zero addresses, and the rate limiting so that the system is both flexible and safe for users to use. On the front end, we made one key update, like we replaced the old wording with the EVM smart wallets gasless. So it makes it more clearer and more consistent across the chains. Like in the future, we can also add a pop-up if the gasless isn't available, giving users an option to proceed normally or getting support. So to summarize, we moved from the single chain dependent gasless model to a flexible multi-path system. We now support more chains using ERC-4337 with Pimlico while still keeping the EIP-7702 as the primary path. And we made sure that there's always a fallback so the transactions never get stuck. That's the core idea. And thank you.